I want to talk to you about something remarkable. In the face of unprecedented challenges, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continues to stand tall, showing the kind of nerves of steel that few leaders in history have ever demonstrated. And yet, Netanyahu faces an onslaught of hatred, not just from our external enemies alone, but from within our own ranks here in Israel. I want you to watch this.
הציבור בישראל לא ממש מוטרד מכך שהנשיא הנבחר האמריקני זה בן אדם שיש לו יחסים מפוקפקים גם עם החוק וגם עם הדמוקרטיה, מתוך איזושהי מחשבה שטראמפ טוב ליהודים, אז נחיה ונראה בעניין הזה. אני אישית לא יותר מדי מתרגשת מהאיום שהוא חזר עליו אתמול, על כך ששערי הגיהנום ייפתחו בעזה אם החטופים לא יחזרו עד שהוא נכנס לתפקיד. יש לו עוד שבועיים, בינתיים ראינו שהאיום שהוא כבר השמיע לא ממש עבד, כי בסופו של דבר אולי הלחץ שטראמפ צריך להפעיל הוא על ראש הממשלה נתניהו שיסיים את המלחמה בתמורה להחזרת כל.
That is one of countless of establishment media reporting that every night blames Netanyahu for abandoning our hostages in Gaza and being responsible for them being left to die in Gaza. Every night, Israelis here, different Israeli politicians and journalists and columnists all placed the blame on Netanyahu, as if we are not up against an evil Islamo-Nazi enemy in Gaza that is responsible for holding on to our hostages and not freeing them, in addition to all of their atrocities that they've been doing to us, especially on October 7th, 2023. Did you hear how the Israeli journalist literally claimed that Trump should be threatening Netanyahu instead of threatening Hamas? Watch that clip again.
הלחץ שטראמפ צריך להפעיל הוא על ראש הממשלה נתניהו שיסיים את המלחמה בתמורה להחזרת כל.
The hatred of the establishment media towards Netanyahu is so insane that they literally speak like that, as if he is the bad one. And then we have politicians who speak like this.
אני מבקש לנצל את ההזדמנות הזאת ולהזהיר מכאן את ראש הממשלה. אל תעז לטרפד עסקה, אל תעז לערבב שיקולים פוליטיים, אל תעז להפקיר אותם שוב.
That is Yair Golan, an ex-second-in-command of the IDF, who today leads one of the left-wing parties called the Democrats. He literally blames Netanyahu for the plight of the hostages. He's one of many of the politicians on the left that does that. And then you have people who talk like this. It's so disgusting, it's all baseless and outright lies. Even United States Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, a figure far from friendly towards Netanyahu, has admitted publicly that Hamas is the sole obstacle preventing a hostage deal. Yes, let me repeat that. Even Blinken acknowledges that it's Hamas, not Netanyahu, standing in the way of these innocent lives being returned home from captivity in Gaza. Listen.
The only thing standing between the Gaza people and a ceasefire is Hamas. It's rejected generous proposals from Israel. It seems more interested in a regional conflict than it is in a ceasefire that would immediately improve the lives of the Palestinian people.
And yet, our own establishment media in Israel and Israeli politicians on the left ignore these truths. Instead, they spew venom at Netanyahu and the whole right-wing camp, blaming us for the evils of Hamas and the plight of the hostages. Think about the twisted logic here. They blame Israel's leader Netanyahu while giving a pass to the genocidal, evil terror organization holding innocent civilians hostage. These so-called journalists, commentators, and politicians aren't holding Netanyahu accountable. They're undermining Israel's ability to stand strong against Hamas. Every time that they publicly blame Netanyahu, they give Hamas less of a reason to capitulate and free our hostages. Yes, they are directly responsible for Hamas not giving in. So let me be clear. Netanyahu has done everything in his power to bring our hostages home. He's balancing the need for their safe return with the critical mission of ensuring Hamas is never again able to threaten the lives of people in Israel. This is a man who understands the stakes and is making decisions with the weight of the entire nation on his shoulders. And yet, through all of this, Netanyahu remains unshaken. Every move or word he makes is scrutinized, distorted, and weaponized by those who hate him within our own. And yet, Netanyahu stays the course, leading us in this war, overcoming all of the odds and challenges that have gotten us to where we are today. Netanyahu is focused not just on winning this war, but on securing the future of the Jewish people in our ancestral homeland. He refuses to let the lies, hatred, or political games distract him from that overarching mission. That is how blessed we are to have Netanyahu as Prime Minister today during this war. And this isn't just about Netanyahu. This is about the soul of the nation of Israel. It's about standing together against a deep state, media, legal, political, security establishment that would rather see our enemies survive to live another day than see Netanyahu succeed in leading us as a proud Jewish people to a complete victory over our enemies. We, the Jewish people, back as sovereign in our ancestral homeland, we are strong. Despite the daily agenda of the establishment media in spreading lies, blaming Netanyahu for the plight of the hostages, and ignoring the evil acts of our evil Islamo-Nazi enemies, the majority of the Jewish people in the land of Israel are no longer listening to them. We all want to defeat our enemies, and we all want to free our hostages. It has been impossible for Israel to fully exert the necessary pressure on Hamas to free our hostages as long as the Biden administration, through Anthony Blinken and others, have continued to force Israel to provide aid to Hamas-controlled Gaza. This aid, under the guise of humanitarian support, has been co-opted by Hamas to fuel its terror operations and maintain leverage over Israel. Such policies by the Biden administration have emboldened Hamas, giving them the resources and confidence to resist negotiations for the release of our hostages. Hopefully, with the return of a Trump presidency that prioritizes the triumph of good over evil and embraces a sound policy of victory for the Jewish people of Israel, we hope that Israel will finally have the freedom to act decisively that allows Israel to defeat Hamas through unwavering military and strategic pressures, ultimately securing the freedom of our hostages and achieving a decisive victory over Hamas and our enemies. January 20th cannot come soon enough. And to Netanyahu I say, your resolve inspires us. Your leadership gives us hope. Keep fighting for total victory over our Islamo-Nazi enemies and to free all of our hostages in Gaza. Keep standing strong against all of our enemies and keep showing the world that the people of Israel will never be defeated by lies, hatred, or terror. Because we, the people of Israel, stand with you. Everyone, thank you for your support. Share this message, and Am Yisrael Chai. It is all thanks to God above. Hold on to your faith. Strengthen your faith. We're back in our ancestral homeland. We're not going anywhere, and thankfully, we have Prime Minister Netanyahu leading the way right now. If you're not yet a subscriber to my daily belief-based, inspiring, politically incorrect truth about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, what are you waiting for? Go to pulseofisrael.com and click to subscribe. And yes, we are a donor-based operation. We need your support. Every once in a while, click on the donate button on pulseofisrael.com. Shalom, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.